Come on in and sit down. You cut the hardcore crew chewing the fat. You cut us shooting the shit. You cut us in the moment.
Jeff Jarrett. Did you see the interview with Karen Jarrett where she said she doesn't agree with it and she didn't know Jeff had done it behind her back? And I thought, what a crock of shit interview this is. You know exactly why you've done it.
Yep.
I thought I have never seen such a stupid interview, pointless interview in all my life.
Huh. Well, you know what, guys? We are in the moment, and of course, you know what? You can't keep a good guy down. Here I am in the hospital, all wired up, and, you know, I'm on location. Guys, Joe, you wanted to talk about GFW a bit, so I'm going to let you kick things off.
Yeah, I want to discuss like Battlegrounds and see where the WWE's heading and what direction they're going to be heading with, especially with the Seth Rollins Brock Lesnar match. In my opinion, I think they're not going to give him that. They're not going to let that belt go. They're going to firmly keep it around Seth Rollins' waist. It makes a lot of sense. They need to keep it on him.
Okay. So, you're referring to Battlegrounds, and you know. So, the Battlegrounds, you really think that we're going to have Seth Rollins still keep a hold of it? And that's interesting.
And here's my reason why. Look how much they're making Brock Lesnar so dominant. He destroys the car. He beats up J&J security. He's, you know, doing damage everywhere. It's too much of a big thing. It's like it's just giving you too much. It's like, you know, this guy is going to kill Seth Rollins, and it's like he's proving he could destroy things and blah, blah, blah. It's so obvious, and then when we see the show, Seth Rollins is either going to turn and run or something's going to happen, but I don't see him dropping the belt. It'll be so obvious. It'll be so obvious Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles will be able to see this. You know,
I agree, because all the fans are all now with Brock Lesnar, and a couple of weeks ago everybody hated his guts and didn't think he deserved to be in the WWE. Now they want seeing kick Rollins' arse, and the WWE never give you what you want. I don't know how they can pull it off. I don't know what they're going to do, but I can't see Brock Lesnar winning at Battleground. I don't know how they're going to pull it off. It's going to take some serious thing to pull it off, because J&J security is supposed to be out of action. Kane's supposedly with his broken ankle, but you could see quite clearly on 4 instant replays that the steps never even hit his foot, which I thought was a bit bad on their part. Why show a replay when it blatantly didn't hit his foot?
Well, not even that. At the end of after that, Seth Rollins came back and pretty much trash-talked him, and he super-kicked him, so I don't think, even if he was fine, I don't think Kane's going to come to running to his rescue. So it also shows that the United Authority is starting to show cracks once again, which we kind of talked about even before, that this United Authority was only going to be temporary until after Battleground.
Yeah, and let's look at this other thing, too. What was Kane really doing? There come to the point with him that he's useless. He's really, really useless at this point. There's nothing else the man can do. You know, I think what they're going to try to do is, because he's really fizzled out, I think they're going to come back with a situation that he might come back as the Monster Kane. And let's face it, him being in the original red suit that he came in with, red and black, with the mask and the hair, was a lot better gimmick than Corporate Kane or anything else. In my opinion, that's what made fans more interested in Kane, was because he was this destructive creature. I would have done it differently. I would have done something where Seth Rollins really beats him down and tries to set fire to him or something. And it's as cruel as that sounds, but they can probably do something where he's like set on fire and he's screaming and they drops into a vat of water or something like that. And they can say he's scarred and he has to put the mask back on.
Yeah.
And he's really pissed off. You know, I think, in my opinion, that's what Kane needs. He needs the gimmick and needs to stay in the gimmick until he retires.
Yeah.
Lance, so your thoughts?
Well, about the whole thing about the whole title match at Battleground, I've been hearing, from what I've heard, the rumors are that they want to do Triple H and Seth Rollins at SummerSlam and Reigns and Lesnar. So I say Lesnar's getting the belt back at Battleground and just being a transitional champion for Reigns. But with Kane, I'm actually with Joe on this one. He needs somebody to, quote, burn him, whether it's on screen or off, like have him go into a light and it blow up or something, figure out some way to do it. Because I don't think with it being PG nowadays, they're not just going to have somebody pour gasoline on them and throw a match. That's just not going to happen. But if they figure out some creative way to do it, then it will happen.
They could do what they did with Jeff Hardy when his pyro went off in his face.
Yeah, that's another possibility. But as far as with Kane going back to the mask, do I foresee that happening? Personally, I myself don't see that just yet. I think if that was going to ever happen, I think that would happen if we ever saw maybe a Kane and Undertaker match, and that's just not going to happen anytime soon.
Perhaps next time he goes back to that persona will be his last run. I think that's farewell.
Exactly.
Good.
He needs to go back to the mask. He needs to have that last run with it, and then come to the point that him and the Undertaker should literally retire together as the brothers. Maybe do a brothers tag team match, and then finish it, and then move off.
Okay. Well, you know what? I think we pretty much got as to, with this title match, we might as well do the whole breakdown of the card, Battlegrounds, which is this Sunday. Let's start off with, of course, this kickoff match, which, guys, we've seen King Barrett and R-Truth go against each other for the past 4 or 5 weeks, so why it's a kickoff match makes no fucking sense to me.
Because no one gives a shit about it.
Well,
Exactly.
why do they even? The better question is, who cares?
Nobody.
It comes to that point that you burned it to death. You burned it to death. They burned it to death. Why keep putting these two idiots together? And I actually like Barrett. I don't like freaking R-Truth, but I think this is just come to the point where, well, okay, we'll just put these two idiots together. That's it. Let's just keep doing it until everybody gets sick and tired.
Yeah. It sounds like they're just wasting time, and you know what? We'll just move on. I think we all are in agreement we don't need this one. So let's go on to another match that I think is a little bit more interesting. It's the Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns, and of course we know that Bray Wyatt has been tormenting Roman Reigns because Bray Wyatt has nobody else to torment. So it's just like at random. He never really picked as to why he says he's going to, and now we're coming up to this main event match, and I'm guessing after Roman Reigns defeats him, it should be the end of it. Maybe after Raw we'll see a match or two. I'm hoping by then Roman Reigns can finally get his sights on the title, or maybe if not, we've all talked that I would like to see Roman Reigns finally get his just desserts and go and become world champion. But if I have to make a pick, I'm picking that Roman Reigns is going to win the championship. Win Bray Wyatt. Beat Bray Wyatt. Excuse me, my meds are kicking in here, folks.
No, it's just, you know what it is? It's just the repetitiveness of these matches.
Come on, Ricky. You've done this show on your other meds before, so come on, buddy.
Yeah, gee, thanks a lot, Lance. Well, Lance, you two spoke up. Your pick, please.
Well, I have seen, like I've said, I see Reigns going after the title, so he's winning this. But I hope just after this match, they have something for Bray Wyatt to do. Because, this was kind of a weird build-up. Just out of the blue, he comes in, Keith Reigns, it's just out of the blue. I'm going Reigns.
All right. Joe?
You know what? I got to go with Roman Reigns on this one, and you know what the situation was? They needed to find a way to pull Roman Reigns off his title hunt, and they did. And they tried to give him a build to see if anybody really cares. Remember, nobody was really caring about this guy. So now they're giving him his shot, and he's going to, hopefully he runs with it better, and they do something better with him.
All right. Andy, over to you.
I think it's going to be Roman Reigns, but I can see on this pay-per-view if Roman Reigns will allow it, because they've sort of done it with his kid on that interview where he was supposedly stalking his kid. I think they'll have his kid probably locked up in a back room somewhere, which will make his temper worse, just so the crowd can see that he has got an evil side, because I think people think he's too soft to be a champion, and I don't believe he is. I think he's proper tough cookie.
Can I say something about that real quick? I think they could have made this a better angle if they would have at least get like a young actor that kind of looks like Roman Reigns' daughter and bring that in to the build-up. It would have added more intrigue into the match.
Possibly, but I think that this whole angle's been played out. I think we're gonna, Bray Wyatt has been trying to do this whole new face affair, and the problem is that he's done this kind of angle or this kind of like whole promo with several other people, and nothing's really changed. It's just kind of like the second verse, same as the first type deal. If you ask me, other people may kind of notice the difference. I think Bray Wyatt has potential to become a great wrestler if he develops his character a little bit more. He just needs a little bit more work. But let's move on. Our next match is the WWE US title match. Now, this is against John Cena versus Kevin Owens, and of course each of these guys have a win over each other. And the real big question is, who is really going to walk away with the title in the match? And so my pick, I'd like to see Kevin Owens wins, but I'm not sure. Andy, over to you.
I think, unfortunately, Kevin Owens is going to win. That's why he's dropped the NXT title, so he can win. I think it's carved in stone. But after last night's performance on Monday Night Raw, he doesn't even deserve to be in the match. It should have been Cesaro, in my opinion.
And while Rick is busy on his phone, I'll throw in my pick. I see also Kevin Owens, and I have to agree with Andy. He, dropped the NXT title for a reason, and they probably want to already take the belt off of John Cena. So it's time for someone else to occupy that belt.
Well, the thing is, Joe, do you really think that he's going to be a credible champion? Because the only person he's had a feud with so far really is that rapper and John Cena. So he's not really built up a feud with other wrestlers. It's just John Cena. I suppose Cesaro and Rusev last night, but wasn't really a feud as such.
Well, Lance, go ahead.
Well, Andy, to answer that, when you've been able to beat the face of the company, doesn't that already automatically give you credibility?
Yeah, but to me, when you're a world champion, people want to fight. They have this want to fight you because they either hate you or they're jealous of what you've got. But none of the wrestlers at the moment seem to give a shit about Kevin Owens. He's just at the moment he's a legend in his own mind. And even Sarah, as you know, is not a big wrestling fan, but she'll watch it and she says, I just don't know what the crowd are getting behind this guy for, because she sees no talent in him. And she's normally pretty good at spotting people who've got talent, but he's hated because he is a douchebag, not because he's got a good character. He is a douchebag. And I can't see him being the one that they should be putting all the eggs in the basket. There's two people on the roster that I think need to carry the show. One of them is Roman Reigns, and the other one is Cesaro, and neither of them are really having a big, massive push. I think Kevin Owens is going to be the next Bray Wyatt, and look what they've done at him. I mean, everyone was singing Bray Wyatt's praises this time last year, and look what he's done. Nothing.
Well,
and
actually,
unfortunately, Kevin Owen is going to be the same.
well, here's where I got to disagree with you, and Lance, then you can chime in real quick.
Okay.
They needed their version of pretty much a bully Ray, and that's what they created the character as. To me, Kevin Owens is just another bully Ray, and he projects that type of character pretty well, and his skills are really good compared to, I've seen his matches, and especially against Finn Balor. He's not bad. He just needs tweaking. Lance, go ahead.
Yeah, I've been a fan of Mr. Owens, Mr. Steen, whatever the hell you want to call him, since his ROH days. Since our friend Ash started showing me that stuff. While I don't know him personally, the character's basically an asshole. Asshole bully. So, and since I think this match, I personally want this match to culminate at SummerSlam, I'm giving it to Kevin Owens so they can have the one final blow so John Cena can challenge for his rematch at SummerSlam.
All right, and now, fans, since Rick's going to be a little busy right now, we're going to go on to the next title match, and this is going to be one of the three, another one. Here is for the Intercontinental Championship. The boring champion, in my opinion, Ryback, is defending his title in a triple threat match between two other boring individuals. The Big Show, which I think he should be Big Retire, and then you got The Miz, who I call him the Bob Backlund of wrestling. The guy is not bad. The Miz is not bad, and I will say he's the one that should be walking out of this match with the title. I'm not a fan of Ryback. I think his Goldberg Rhino wannabe character is not good, and I think I'm going to see him as a transitional champion. So if I have to say anything, because here's two big guys fighting each other, and then you got the little Miz in there, I'm going to see the Miz sneak in, steal the match, and run off. It's going to be probably a big knockout by the Big Show on Ryback. Miz is going to do something to knock this guy out of the ring, and then he's just going to get the pin. So, in my opinion, I'm hoping that the Miz wins the belt. We're going to go a little bit in reverse. Lance, let's go back to you, and then we'll go to Andy.
Well, for one, Show don't need another belt. He's past the time of getting championships in this business. But then again, if they put the IC belt on him, it wouldn't be such a bad thing, but just God knows, keep that WWE strap off of him. Way too old. But this is, for me personally, this will be a piss break match because I hate triple threat matches. But I'm either going to have to say Miz or Ryback. I kind of see them keeping it on Ryback for a little while. That's just me, just Ryback. Why not?
Okay, Andy, let's go to you.
I think you've hit the nail on the head, Joe. I think Ryback is going to do something to Big Show, or Big Show's going to do something to Ryback, and Miz is just going to come in, probably do very little in the match, just come in and steal it at the end, because Ryback for me is bin fodder. Big Show's been bin fodder since he made that stupid comedy movie for the WWE, so they need to give Miz something. He's worked hard. He's done everything they've asked him to do. I think it's about time to give him a bit of payback, because he is a deserving. He does look and carry the championship belt well.
And he's the perfect heel for it.
Yeah.
All right, fans, we're going to go on to the next title match, which is, to me, I call it a dark match, and not because the lights are going to be out, but all players in here are black. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying. I have to throw a little controversy in there, a little joke in there.
Hey, that's my gimmick, damn it. Although the views and opinions described on that he just made are of Joe from the CWAs and do not reflect those of the other Hardcore Wrestling Radio crew.
There you go. Okay.
Can't be as dark as the TNA match that had no sound or any stage lighting for about 15 minutes in their last pay-per-view.
That's a true dark match.
That's a true dark match. Okay, well, fans, we're going the WWE Tag Team Championship. The tag champs currently are the Primetime Players, and they're defending their belts again against New Day. Which
Cool.
combination, we don't know yet. So that could be something that brings a little controversy. And I'm going to throw this. I have to say that I'm surprised that the New Day are actually working well together. They're impressing me. You know, I prefer the team of Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, but, you know, Big E Webster is actually, you know, holding his own in there, and I'm very surprised at that. The primetime players have been really, you know, since reteaming, they've been really good working out. Everybody's been getting behind more Titus O'Neil than his partner, but, you know, I think the primetime players are going to have to, I think they're going to walk out of this. And I wouldn't be surprised if New Day does something where they try to bring the primetime players into their little group to form a new nation. But in my opinion, I have to say primetime players are going to walk away with this title. Andy, let's hit you.
Yeah, I'm going to go the same, primetime players, I think. I would like to see, but I don't know who they could fight. I'd like to see all of them all teamed together in like a big fraction, but I don't know who they could feud with. I can just see them all teaming together. I don't know what it is about them, but I can see them all working together. Probably
you racist bastard.
Yeah.
Since you brung it up, Lance, go ahead.
Anyway, yeah, I'm going to stick with the group primetime players, although if it does happen with the New Day get the belts back, I see it being like one of them pull an old heel move where the ref's looking one way and a guy from the outside they see holding an ankle down or something. But I see it going primetime.
All right, so we all agree on this one. It's primetime players. Now let's go on to the next one. It's the Viper, Randy Orton, taking on the White Mr. T, Sheamus. You know what? I have to say Sheamus has been looking really good. He's been, you know, really stepping up his game ever since he came back with the Mohawk. Also doesn't help that he's going to be portraying Rocksteady in the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. And with Randy Orton, there's nothing else. The only thing I have to question about Randy Orton is which direction and where is he coming with an RKO. That's the only thing. Now, in this match, it's kind of a little difficult. I'm kind of not sure which way to go. You know, this is something where I would love to lean towards Randy Orton because of the way his character is being portrayed and just that RKO. But I think I'm gonna have to go on Sheamus. I think they have bigger plans for Sheamus, and they just wanted to give him a high-profile match. And with Randy Orton, you're getting a high-profile match. Andy, let's go to you.
I'm exactly the same opinion. I want Randy Orton to win, but I think they've put Randy Orton in there purely for the push for Sheamus. I think it's the push that Sheamus needs again. Sheamus has come back a lot better than he went out, and Randy Orton's done it all really. So I think he's just there as like a John Cena, a credible opponent that can give Sheamus that edge to push his career again a little bit further, because it's like how Sheamus is at the moment, it's like he's starting out again as a different character. I know it's the same, but it's like refreshed his character. A nice win over Randy Orton and doing a boost of confidence. If Randy Orton wins, then I don't see it achieving anything, to be honest, although I would initially pick Randy, but I'm going to go for Sheamus.
All right. Lance, let's go over to you.
Well, y'all are forgetting one thing. When somebody gets the Money in the Bank, 9 times out of 10, they go on a massive losing streak, which I call the curse of the Money in the Bank. So I'm giving it to Randy Orton.
You know, and that's, I got to agree with you. Sometimes these guys they win that Money in the Bank briefcase, and they experience kind of a little bit of losing streak, and then they cash in and they get this big push. Is it something that we're going to see with Sheamus? I don't know. Again, this is something that it could maybe possibly just come out of the blue. Right now, I have to. You know what? We have to see, but I still give Sheamus this win. Now let's go on to the main event, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Between Mr. MMA, I'm going to break cars and break everybody else's bodies apart. Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman in his corner, taking on now who I call the Lone Wolf, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has, since his WrestleMania win, has technically been holding out pretty well as champion. He portrays the perfect heel. He knows when to run. He knows how to do the trash talk. He knows how to alienate people. He knows how to get fans against him. And we've teased always the Shield reforming. And right now I have to say, and I'm sure Rick would agree, that Seth Rollins right now is good on his own. How do I see this coming out? Well, quite simply, look at the situation with Brock Lesnar. They're making him into this Godzilla, destructive monster. He's destroyed J&J Security. He destroyed, their car. He nearly destroyed a fan, which we all knew was fake. So Brock Lesnar is a monster. Now, is he going to actually win this match? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be. I think this is either going to be a situation where Seth Rollins runs away and saves his title for another day, or Brock gets DQ'd. This is something where Brock goes ballistic and just literally wants to kill Seth Rollins. So I'm going to have to give it to Seth Rollins. I can't say he's going to get a clean win, but I'm just going to say he's going to remain with his belt. We're going to go back around the other way. Lance, let's go to you.
Well, this is where it gets a little tricky here. I think this is where they start to build up for Triple H and Seth Rollins, because Brock will get disqualified, yes, but you hear Triple H's music, he comes back down, restarts the match, and Brock beats the hell out of him, and then gets the belt, which sets up for Reigns versus Lesnar at SummerSlam. So I'm giving the belt to Brock Lesnar.
All right, Andy, let's go to you.
The only thing I can see happening is Seth Rollins. I think he's going to win because it's too obvious for Brock Lesnar to win. The only way I can see it happening is the last 2 or 3 times that they've supposedly had a fight, they've gone into the crowd, and I think there might be somebody in the crowd that could give Brock Lesnar a clothesline, or possibly slip an handcuff over his wrist while he's running round the audience, attach him to a pole so he can't get back in the ring for a count of 10. It's going to have to be some kind of cheat that he's going to win, but I think he's going to win because he'll be quicker on his feet outside the ring. I think he'll get Lesnar to chase him outside the ring and he won't make the count of 10 back in. But I'm not sure if the 10 count doesn't work in them sort of matches. I'm not sure.
Well, countouts will pretty much, you win the match, but you won't win the title. If you're the champion and you get counted out, you just keep your title.
Yeah.
So,
there's nothing stopping Rollins. If that's the case, there's nothing stopping Rollins really just running off and forfeiting the match. But I think they're going to do. I think Brock Lesnar's going to get possibly attacked when he jumps over the guardrail. I think there's going to be somebody there who's going to. I don't know who, but somebody's just going to attack him from outside. Maybe J&J Security, hire some security.
Well, y'all are actually overlooking the one person that could. They call him an extension of the family. The Big Slow.
You know what? No, I don't see that happening. I think they're going to find a way to get Big Show out of that. He's probably going to get to that point where he's, you know, he's already done enough with Brock Lesnar that he's not. If that was the case, they would have done more with Big Show and Brock right after he destroyed J&J. So I think they just going to keep them far separate from this situation. I think what they're going to do is Seth is going to get the beating of his life, but it's going to turn around that he's either going to run away or he's just going to get DQ'd, counted out, something.
One thing you can guarantee that's going to happen in the match, Brock Lesnar will get a legitimate pin, but the referee will be unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
You can almost guarantee that.
Absolutely. So, and I guess that's it. You know, they haven't added any other matches yet. They were possibly maybe a Divas, bathroom break match. It's most likely they'll do that, probably a 6-girl diva match. Who knows, they might throw in Lana versus, Summer Rae match in there. But we don't know yet, there's always going to be a diva match in there. So
another thought is they could probably pay the referee off.
I think at this point even the referees are alienated from Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if they could pay a referee off, and then obviously Brock loses his temper, choke slams the referee, and then they just disqualify him for picking on a referee.
Well, that could be possible. Well, fans, I guess that's our Battlegrounds rundown. Pretty much we're almost all on the same page. If this comes out as predictable as we're saying, maybe, this will show you how predictable the WWE is, because we've been wrong before, but we've also been correct, really right, spot on. So in this case, I think we're going to see pretty much we're going to be spot on in a couple of these matches. I guess that's it, unless we got other little quick topics. Well, let's go on real quick. We got a few minutes left. Guys, real fast responses. What do you think about the Global Force Wrestling TNA situation that's going on? Lance, let's go to you.
Well, since ROH didn't want to do the angle and they just went and found Jeff Jarrett, I think it's a bad business move on Jeff Jarrett's part.
Okay. But do you see it as helping TNA or?
Hell no.
Okay.
TNA's terminal. Someone just needs to pull the plug.
Oh, yeah. Andy, what about you?
I think Jeff Jarrett is using Dixie's naivety, if that's a word, and pinching her airtime off her and her stars. And she's so stupid she can't see it coming, because Jeff Jarrett doesn't want... I don't think he wants to work with TNA through choice. I think he's working through them for what he can get out of them, and he has no choice. He's probably going to prove to the network, I can give you a far better show than she can. Give me the TV time.
Well, and that's my thoughts exactly. Well, fans, I think that's pretty much what we have in store. Thanks for listening in. Let's go, let's do these final closing moments. If we were Jerry Springer, I would have something witty to say, but I'm not. So, Lance, can you tell us where the fans can find you at?
My channel is youtube.com/LanceMossTV. Got album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, redneck gourmet cooking videos, musical equipment reviews, some rants. Every Wednesday at 7 or 8 Central. That's 8 or 9 Eastern. Depends on what day depends on who I'm having and all that good stuff. I go live and with a group of people called Lance Moss and Friends. So you never know who might come be on there. Andy's been on there. Joe, you're welcome on there anytime. Rick, all the crew's welcome on there. And follow me on Twitter. It's at Lance Moss TV.
Again, guys, subscribe to his channel. Andy, where can they find you, the man with the ghost?
Yeah, you can find me. The best place to find me is at www.stokehaunted.com, and on that page, on the opening page that you see, you'll see links to my Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, email address. It's all on there. If you want to insult me or just chat to me or send me a friend request, that's the place to go, www.stokehaunted.com. And in a couple of, a month or so's time, the 22nd of August, we're going to a big, reputable, spooky mansion. So I'll hopefully have some nice tales to tell everybody on after the 28th of August. Fingers crossed.
Well, I definitely enjoy those shows. My wife and I are fans of his shows. And this is Joseph Knight. You can follow me on Facebook at Joseph Knight Manager. You can also follow me on Twitter at JKnightCWA. You can also follow my company, the CWA, the Classic Wrestling Association, at ClassicWrestlingAssociation.com or on our Facebook page, Classic Wrestling Association. We're coming up with our big Summer Bash 2 card, Saturday, August 29th, 7 p.m. in the Boonton, New Jersey area. So if you're in the New Jersey area, come down to the Boonton Elks Lodge and check our show out. It starts at 7 o'clock. We have a lot of great matches we want the fans to enjoy, so we hope to see you there. Don't forget to check out Hardcore Wrestling Radio at Facebook.com, Hardcore Wrestling Radio. You know, this is Joseph Knight filling in for our beloved leader. We hope he gets better soon, Rick Head. And fans, check us out, like us, send comments, and we'll see you when we see you. Closing comments, guys. Go ahead, throw it out there.
The real reason Rick's laid up is because Raw was so bad it put him in the hospital.
No, that was because of TNA, Andy.
Either one.
Yeah, and if you look, they're actually taking Rick's brainwave patterns, just like they used to do with Joe 90, and going to put them in Dixie Carter.
All right, Ben? Good night.
Thank you for listening to this edition of In the Moment. Make sure you follow us at any one of our locations, whether it's YouTube, Dailymotion, and now SoundCloud.com under the name HWR Show. Until the next time, this is your hardcore host, Rick Head, saying we'll see you when we see you.